What's up, guys? It's Scratch, and I'm back with another Trials Fusion, and not Trials HD or whatever I said in the previous video if you watched my review from last time. But Trials Fusion, I'll try to call it Trials Fusion. I don't know why Trials HD just kind of sticks in my head. Last time I reviewed the Riders of the Rustland, it was the first DLC in a series of 6 that you can see that, you know, there's 2 of them unlocked because there's 2 released, obviously. And then you have the other ones that are coming out later this month and months after, I think up until May or something like that. So maybe they won't be every month. I'm not really sure about how that's going. But what we're here today is talk about Empire of the Sky. So let's just get right to it. You can see that it's a little bit more bright and a little bit more, you know, not as kind of dismal and junky, punky sort of theme that we saw from the Riders of the Rustland. I guess it's less Rustlandy, but if that's a word, probably not. But it's pretty much kind of the same format here. You're getting a couple of tracks. You have an extreme track, which I just simply cannot beat. I'll probably throw some at the end of the video. We'll do this last because I'll probably get like really serious and forget that I'm even recording, and it'll make it easier to edit that way. But the other thing we have here is a High Society FMX track, which is actually pretty cool. It's a pretty fun track. And we have a skill game called Free Fall, where every obstacle that you ride over is falling, and so that you only have a short period of time to get off it, and so we'll take a look at that. But the first thing I want to look at is we'll just jump into the tracks here. There's a couple of mini games and a couple of side games. You know, I'll probably just cut away to each of those things throughout this review. I'll just record it all in one go and then just chop it up. So if it seems a little choppy, that's why, but it just makes it easier to kind of make sure I show you everything, and then if I watch it later and start to get bored, I know what to cut out, like this part right here, actually. So the first one we're going to take a look at is Gone Clubbin', and this one is a fairly simple track. I feel like I actually have a gold in this one, and I was playing the previous tracks, or in the previous review of Riders in the Rustlands, I was commenting on how it seemed as though it seemed like kind of like the tracks were a little bit harder than they needed to be. Like it was considered a medium track, but like I couldn't even finish it, you know. And this one is only proving to be hard because I'm talking instead of like concentrating, like crashing like that. But we were talking about how I would even be able to stream with some of the other members of my site earlier. But basically, back to what I was saying, the tracks were a little bit harder, or I felt like they were a little bit harder, and I attributed some of that to maybe just because I hadn't played Trials in a really long time. So I thought maybe that could be it. So I took my time with this DLC, and I played through the tracks a couple of times. I got my Trial skills back up, so to speak, so that I could you know, properly review it and get back. But I think some of my same sentiments from the previous DLC are going to carry through with this one, although I do think that this one is a little bit easier. Basically on these tracks, you're just going to want to kind of brush up on your maneuvering skills. You don't want to go too fast, you don't want to go too slow. You can overshoot the obstacles. It's not meant to go, you know, balls to the wall as fast as you possibly can, because you need to be able to kind of manipulate the bike a little bit, so that you're not, like right here, I've kind of overshot that. I could have, you know, done a little bit better, and like right there, you know, it kind of, you're gonna, gas control and that stuff in these levels is gonna be key, because otherwise you're gonna have to keep restarting like that. Now obviously gas control is easier said than done when you're not talking, like I mentioned earlier. But you know, I probably don't have enough to get up over this, and then you can kind of save them like that. So in this one here, there's a challenge, or it has like a little side thing, which is kind of cool, which I'll show you here if I can get up, where you have to bail, and then, yeah, that didn't work. Anyways, you bail and you throw yourself into this top thing. And if I can just... If I go all the way over here... Well, that didn't... There's a video game. You crash the apartment in there. Go just... Okay, so you gotta kind of do a bunny hop. So if I land myself in there, you get a squirrel. I'm not gonna try for that one. I'm gonna try for this other one. Get it, get it, get it. Okay, yeah, so when you land in here, you can see I went in, and then you play this mini game, which is kind of cool, called Super Trials. And the object is to basically get to the end, and it's like super hard trials. That's what it should be called. So in this one, you're gonna try to like, it's just like the original, and you just have to kind of keep your momentum going. I'm doing actually really good while I'm talking. Maxim will be proud. Of course, I wrecked as soon as I start talking. But actually, you can see you don't get any checkpoints with this, so that's kind of where the buck stops. I mean, this is really hard just because I think part of it for me is because you don't have the same view, maybe, or the same, you know, camera angles and that sort of thing. But it is pretty cool. It's just a little mini game that I got in there from, you know, crashing the whole Super Trials thing, and something to try. You get an achievement if you can beat it. If you can't, then you just break a controller or swear at your Xbox or whatever. Bring us the platinum, wipe away the debt. Bonus points in the comments if you can tell me what game that is from. This one is actually pretty difficult, and I'm probably not going to show very much of it because I'm probably not going to get far enough to do that. The whole control of your bike that I was talking about earlier, that's where this is going to come into play big time, because you need to kind of, you really need to make the most of that. So control of the throttle and your movements and all of that stuff on these levels, that's where, this is where it all comes to pay off. This is a hard track, by the way, if you can't already tell. We need to score 5,500 points to get a gold, which probably isn't going to happen, but a lot of launching, there's a lot of flipping and a lot of crashing, and you're going to see here in free fall that's very important. How you land, you don't have a lot of time, so I landed on my front tire there, and I couldn't back up. I'm going to retry that so you can kind of see what goes on. I couldn't back up because I only have a limited amount of time on each of these obstacles before they fall, and you don't really get the like, I'm probably not going to make it there, right? So as you can see, these are falling every time I touch one. So your timing and your body placement, not leaning forward when you shouldn't be leaning forward, is important. Your body placement and shifting your weight around and stuff is all really key to keeping. See, I've spent just a little too much time, and then I'd spend a little too much time. So you really don't have much more than a couple of seconds. Much more than a couple of seconds on each one before you go down. You just have to make it 200 meters to get a gold. I've not been able to do that. Looks like I retried when I meant to quit, so I'll just give you one more go, and we'll see how I do. Much better when I'm not talking, but 126 isn't gonna cut it. The way of the machine. I can't even get close to this end. I know I said before, for the extreme tracks, that I got somewhere in the neighborhood of like, it's where I found out that you can only have 500 fails and only have a half an hour to complete the track. This very first one, you just have to go overneath, I just made that up. Over top of a bomb, which like makes me jump out of my freaking chair. Like, it's just, you just got to get that back tire to go over. you gotta be kidding me. And then you got another one. There's a lot of bombs here. Lot of bombs. Lot of bombs. Come on. Just get another bomb. Can he make it? No, probably not. This one is just about like impossible too. Like another freaking bomb. So the bombs are there. Like if you don't hit them perfect, like you're going over. You know, and this one here, like I don't even know how you're supposed to like. How are you supposed to even jump this? Oh, like that. But see, then you're leaning too far forward, and you can't even like crawl your way, and then your bike throws you off. Oops, that was too bad. I'm already at 30 faults. This is only into the third. Only into the third checkpoint, I think. That's not too bad. That's, you know, that's over 10 faults per checkpoint. Not bad odds at all. If you don't count the hundreds that I have in that very first one. Nope, not gonna do it. And then it becomes, oh, I'm done. And then you hit the freaking back button instead of B. So that's it for my review. I hope you didn't get bored and enjoyed it or whatever. And I would definitely recommend picking it up. I think that, you know, you really need to kind of, like I said before, I think the takeaways from this are, you know, you want to approach each track with a little bit of control. You want to take them a little bit more seriously. It's for us. Again, these are probably for a little bit more serious Trials players because there's no tracks and nothing that are just like, except for maybe the first one, the Gone Clubbin' track. Besides that track, there's really no tracks in here that are just a straight up, you know, mash the gas and just kind of lean and just fly through it. Like you really got to be paying attention. So, with that being said, these are really fun. I did do a lot better. I actually have more silvers than bronze in these. And I actually have a gold. I don't think I have a gold in Riders of the Rustlands yet, do I? No, I do not. I'm gonna have to work on that. But they're definitely worth checking out. And like I said, I still feel as a mediocre Trials player, I'm not the best, you know, but I do enjoy playing, and I have some like friend rivalries with a few of my friends, and this offers some new tracks that I can actually complete, unlike these right here. Forget those. But these actually offer some tracks that I can complete, and you know, and kind of freshens the game up a little bit. So you definitely want to check it out. It's worth a shot. It's not that expensive, and you're gonna get you look at all the content in the last two videos, and you really have all these. So I'm gonna give this a buy. And not mean like a buy as in like buy like I don't want it, but buy as in like purchase, because I think if you're remotely interested in Trials, you'll probably get some use out of these. If nothing else, we can race our times together. So hit me up on Xbox Live if you want to do that. So thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff down below. Check out Professor Fat Shady's University of Trials. I'll put a link in the description for that. And don't forget the tagline from one of the tracks. Tell me if you know what game that is from. And no reading other comments, that's cheating. Alright, thanks for watching.